Hello, 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 everyone. I hope having a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whatever time phoning me. Bear with me for a second because woke up this morning. It's pretty cold. Still trying to warm up a little. Also had to double check. Let me see. Sure. Oh yeah, we stopped midway during correct with Izzy. I rambled on a while about the past few days, and our recent work is easy. Same together, work together to deal with the but also last night cooking me. Like always, the two of us make a pretty efficient, at least at first. Starts to go faster and faster, the slippery ceramic coming dangerously close to falling out of her hand than one.
Hey, maybe don't.
Whoops. That sounded expensive. That's my favorite. Izzy is left just holding a soapy sponge.
You need to stop scrubbing so hard.
Possum, hi. Welcome.
But the gunk! It doesn't want to come off!
The bin sound picks up some of the larger pieces. Broken plate.
You know what? I'm just gonna take these home. Glue them back together. That's really not... No, I promised her. I've got a moral obligation to make good on it now.
It's changed in some ways, but Izzy still manages to hold on to some of her conviction.
Okay, well, we can deal with that later. For now, how about you do the loading instead?
Next thing you know, another broken plate. She glances at me, then the dishwasher. Oh my.
No! I've got to prove I can do this now, too!
My money's on she doesn't know how to use. And her stubbornness. I grab her shoulders and gently rotate us until our spots have been reversed.
Oh, man. Thank you.
Fine. Is this just me when I lose an argument? Doesn't take long to get back into it. Soon enough, mushrooms are passing along a freshly rinsed plate every couple of minutes. Stacks them on top of each other in the dishwasher, creating one big pile instead of rows. At least she's trying. I gently correct the mistake, trying to make it obvious what I'm doing.
So, you haven't heard back from Hanners yet, huh? Nope. I'm trying not to think about it too much. I hope she just hasn't seen it or something. Not that she's ignoring me. It's Hanners. She'd never shirk off a message from you. How can you be so sure?
Or it says, hand plate.
Trust me, I'm sure. If it makes you feel any better, she always answers my texts. You two still text? More than just birthday messages?
Even I'd gotten those at.
Sure. Every once in a while. What does she say? Izzy, go to bed. You're drunk.
I'm not sure if that but either way, what? Text. I want drunk text from my friend. Sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's just go home, you're drunk. Drink water.
My point is, don't worry too much about it. She probably just doesn't have any service right now or something. But if I know Hanners, she'll get back to you ASAP. I hope so. Now, Gwyn is a whole other thing. The fact that you even managed to bump into them at all is wild.
Grabs the next plate before I even let go of it and locks eyes with. She holds side and I hold the other.
You don't think they would have gone off-world again without saying hi to us, do you?
As many times as I try to fix this fucking thing. Oh, one of these days I'm actually gonna get it right. It's a fair question, but not one I would have expected. Or maybe just one I don't want to think about.
They promised not to, but I am a little worried. Did just kind of ghost. Yeah. If there were ever a good time to do it, I guess it would have been after what happened.
Hmm? What happened? Who hurt them?
Yeah.
Who's getting got? I finally let go of the plate, and Izzy's hands fall to her side as she gazes out the window.
I never stopped. Huh? Stopped what? Hoping, I mean. I always believed I'd see them again, you know? Even if it was when we were old and wrinkly. Sometimes I'd even daydream about it. All of you guys, really.
She tries to play it off with a chuckle, but her tense shoulders and sharp breath give away how difficult talking about this is for her. Izzy has never had a filter. The delay between words in her head and the words coming out of her mouth has been non-existent as far back as I can remember.
All those years of the four of us being so tight and always being together. Then it just stopped. Isn't that crazy?
I know exactly what she means, of course. Even after Hannah and Quinn left, Izzy and I still tried to hang out together a couple times, but somehow it just didn't work. It was like Izzy couldn't look me in the eye anymore. I thought maybe I just needed to give her some space, a little while apart to help bandage over the lingering awkwardness. But without me realizing it, a little while turned into a long time, and life moved on.
I couldn't believe it either. Especially not when we were still so close by. I've just been here this whole time. I know you are. If we've both been feeling like this, then I wish we would have just said so sooner. All that time we could have spent differently. I was going to! Tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow.
Tomorrow!
Then tomorrow would come and I'd just... freeze.
Not tomorrow. The dishes have been long abandoned. Sitting back down at the counter, I put my hand on her arm.
I get you. Me too. I kept thinking that I just didn't do enough. That maybe if I tried harder, things would have been different. Yeah, man, that was the problem. You were the one who worked so freaking hard on Quinn's party.
Oh?
And when I went and messed things up, you were the one I let down.
The way she said it, the way her face falls, suddenly I understand something.
Izzy, you don't think what happened was your fault, right? Come on, Sum. Don't act like you don't. I saw how pissed you were that day. That wasn't... Of course I was upset. It wasn't anyone's fault. It was just us being dumb kids. Dumb kids who let this go on too long. Yeah, well, I definitely didn't help things. And since then, it's like time has been standing still. Like I've been running in place. You ever feel that way?
More than you realize. We're having a serious talk, but it's hard not to crack a smile. Look at her. We're looking at both of you. Getting so worked over nearly the exact same thing as me all these years. And the exact same worries and anxieties were swimming around in her head too, right across town.
Yeah, I do.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I do.
Give me 1 second, I'm going to turn my heater back on. It got way colder again. Okay. There we go. More than you know.
Well, I'm sick of it. I want to move on with my life. I want to do things.
Ooh. She turns around, tears swelling up in her eyes, and through the frustration and hurt, she still manages to flash me a big grin.
And I guess what I really want is to just see my friends again.
Also mood.
Me too.
Pulling her into a tight hug, I try to squeeze out all the bad feelings. Two of us hang out for a little while longer until it's time for me to get ready to meet up with Quinn. In a lot of ways, the two of us have had similar arcs since the last we saw each other. We both just felt the easiest life path, sticking with what we've been doing since we were young. I feel bad for thinking it, but it's kind of comforting to know that I'm not alone in that regard. As surprised as I was to find out she's still around, I can totally understand her reasons. Before Izzy leaves, we solemnly pledge to see each other again soon, whether it's here, the Lancaster compound, or somewhere else entirely. I set her off with the wave, which she returns until she's out of sight. Heart feeling full, I turn around and shut the door behind me, only to find my parents waiting for me in the kitchen. They're crowded around the dining table like gossiping girls in a cafeteria.
So?
Just look at them.
How'd it go? Oh, well, you know.
Don't make me break out the ladybugs again, girl.
Alright, it went really good. Turns out Izzy never left Floral either. She told me all about her parents and siblings. She's got another one on the way.
Another parent or another sibling?
Oh my fucking god, honestly, that's a good question.
Sibling this time. Izzy was talking about how crazy it is over there with so many of them around.
course, I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. We had our hands full just with you.
They have more people to help watch over the little ones, though.
Still, it was busy enough the last few times I went there. Can't imagine what it's like now.
You'll just have to go see it for yourself.
Yeah, I might. She would have stayed longer, but I had to go get ready to see Quinn. Wait, I need to go get ready to see Quinn!
My one brain cell activate, motherfucker! Oh my god! Me! I dart past my foes rushing up the stairs. Hold on. I need to make sure I save a thing right quick. I also... No, those are all the wrong buttons. There we go. Everything has been happening so fast these past couple of days, I feel like I can barely keep up. Despite my messed up sleep, mood, I'm not really tired. Just a little overwhelmed. I wouldn't have it any other way though. Once I'm all set, I give both my moms a goodbye hug and kiss on... A goodbye hug and kiss on the cheek, and then I'm out the door. I'll wait for Quinn. Give me a second, I had to... That brain cell. I'll wait for Quinn on Main Street of Willamere. The street is nothing if not two very important things. In the shade and home to one of Quinn's favorite food trucks.
One burger with extra pickles. And for me, how about, mixed vegetable wrap?
Sure thing.
Case, the best chef on this side of Willamere gets to work on our order. I lean on the food truck's counter and fiddle with one of the pens as they keep for the customers to draw on the weekly art board. As a way to glance at the masterpieces that the others have already drawn on the side of the truck, the usual suspects make their appearance: a simple flower, a smiley face, messages of inspiration, hearts and stars. My eye is drawn to a cute picture of a puppy wagging its tail with the words, "I'm doggone happy to eat at Case's place." It's so cute. I smiled back at the dog and decided to draw him with a little meal as a weight.
Hey, Summer, your order's done. Tell your Ma's thanks for the cucumbers for me. The pickles turned out great.
Of course. Thanks, Case.
They gave me a little wave and turned to a customer waiting in line, easily falling back into step with their routine. You know, I'm still questioning if the side text box was a purposeful thing. I've always admired people like them, able to decide on a path in life and just go for it. Case was school tutor for a bit when I was young, just biding time until their perfect food truck was complete and they could go off to follow their dreams. Okay, but could you imagine a food truck to where you can actually travel like the universe? A galactic food truck. To them, their dream meant staying right here in Willowmere. I thought about asking them I thought about asking them about it sometimes, but it never seemed quite appropriate. And anyways, it's not like it matters. The smile on their face whenever they open the truck says it all. In a way, I guess Quinn isn't all that different, but oh. Before they left, they had talked a lot about their spaceship, about the repairs it was undergoing, and how they'd love to leave. At the time, they always said all together. Obviously, that never quite happened between Hannah needing to go to school and Izzy taking up a ton more responsibilities at the farm and my radio show. We never found the time. I'm glad they went for it in the end. The circumstances notwithstanding, they followed their dreams. Like Hannah did by going to become a planetary engineer, and Izzy always pushed them to. Like I've always wanted to, but didn't know how.
You are early.
Curiosity! Surprise!
Curiosity!
The small robot is right up to my face, hovering with the low whir of whatever fans or engines kept it aloft. The face changes to an emote of confusion. Oh my god. It's like, Nani?
Or is it me who is late? A predicament.
It's a predicament.
No, you're not late. Where's Quinn?
Oh, they're on their way. They send their apologies.
Oh.
Did they lose their nerve? I suppose they wouldn't send their robot if that was the case, but the idea they might not show up isn't really a far stretch to one. Curiosity offers no more response than that, instead opting to take in the surroundings. The street itself doesn't seem very interesting to me, but its eyes light up each time it turns to face a new building.
What a magnificent planet. The trees grow in your buildings.
Oh. The art is so fucking beautiful.
It's pretty common nowadays, though, isn't it?
Curiosity doesn't reply, instead floating up a bit higher. When its eyes locks on the turbines in the distance, it bobs up and down.
Wind power! How exciting! It is one of the many green energy sources humans employ.
It is, yeah. There's solar panels on the rooftops, too. And all the bigger facilities are connected through a massive dark energy grid.
There's something incredibly endearing about how it moves and speaks, reminding me of the younger group of kids I teach at CC's from time to time. Even though Curiosity nods along to the other stuff, it seems fixated on the turbines. There's no possible way it hasn't seen one of them before, right? From what Ma tells me, the wind-powered infrastructure is at the core of Florel's design. I don't know exactly how many planets were made in this generation, but it certainly wasn't a small amount. Most planets added wind turbines decades after, even if it wasn't their whole thing like it is here. I crossed my arms, glancing around. Well, if there's no sign of Quinn yet.
What sort of places do you usually visit? You and Quinn, I mean.
Maybe this will be a good chance to get some talking points.
Oh, would you like to read a record of our exploits as of Backup 8126, Gemini Sol 2, Sol Lunae?
Yes?
Its face immediately changes to one of a loading screen. I stand there across from it. The whirring in its body grows louder, and the looping of the icon on his face slows with each passing moment. Loading. I might be here for a while.
Maximum limit reached!
Oh no. Oh no. For the second time since it arrived, jumped out of my skin and out of my head, forced back into the present.
Stars. Maximum limit for what? What does that mean?
There is a lot of data to parse. You must create a restore point in the ship and print it there.
Too much data. Find a save point.
I apologize for the inconvenience. I would be happy to read aloud to you the summarized report on the hourly atmospheric readings.
Oh, no thanks. Actually, I didn't mean that. I meant more like...
I guess I'll try to condense my question into something more personal and immediate.
Why did you go to the last planet you went to? There's lots of places out in the universe, right? I'm sure there's something that called you to it.
Oh, my understanding was flawed. You were asking for something I cannot answer.
Oh, really?
Yes. Quinn does not choose the planets. We find them. Or, as Quinn says, they find us.
I love Quinn. I love them even more. How perfectly Quinn.
I see. So, you don't really see places like Florel often?
Correct. Florel is the only planet I have seen with other people on it.
What? The only one?
Correct. Florel is the only planet I have seen with other people on it.
No, I mean, you don't see people?
Incorrect. We cross paths with other travelers on space stations such as OPS, S-H, and the ISSL. An error in speech has been detected. I will adjust to emphasize planet from now on. Florel is the only planet I have...
That makes a lot more sense. Thank you very much, Curiosity.
A wave of relief washes over me. I knew Quinn wasn't really an extrovert, but the idea that they haven't spoken to a human being in over 4 years was... well, it was believable, which was worrying.
I am glad that the circumstances of our encounter have once again changed, and I have been a help to you. Oh, Quinn is here.
Quinn? It doesn't even fully complete a sentence before it whips past me, zipping towards the small space in the distance. Quinn! Quinn greets the robot with a smile and says something to it as they both approach before they catch my gaze and offer a timid wave. I wave back, gesturing to all to the small setup on the nearby windowsill for us to eat our lunch together.
Thanks for waiting. Took me longer than I hoped to fill out the paperwork. Is that...
A burger from Case. Extra pickles.
It's not often they let their heart show so clearly on their sleeve, especially in public, but Quinn's eyes nearly sparkle with amazement.
Hungry?
I'm starving. Thanks.
Score! And so the date begins. I try not to think about how this is the exact same strategy I used the other week to lure Lost Puppy out from underneath the floorboards of our greenhouse. Oh my fucking god. Not Quinn being compared to the Lost Puppy. Quinn takes a seat next to me, sharing another look of gratitude before opening up their meal container. A small puff of steam billows out from the bamboo box lined with him. The strip of heat sealant resin broke like it's fresh off the grill. We each take big, indulgent bites of our food before continuing any conversation. My wrap is crunchy and delightfully fresh. The crisp lettuce, carrots, and zucchini melody mixed with Case's homemade dressing and salted avocado. It's fresh avocado! From the corner of my eye, I can see Quinn savor each bite of their hamburger as curiosity gives it a curious look over. Almost like it's never seen a burger before either. A tragic thought, considering Quinn's love for things. As we eat, I'm reminded of a saying my grandma used to have. We didn't have big family dinners too often, but once in a while we would meet up with her and Auntie Hilda's side for a milestone birthday or a special occasion. And in the middle of the meal, while we all chewed away and filled our bellies and hearts with good food, she reminded us that a quiet table happens for one or two reasons. Either the food is good, or the company isn't. I bask in the comfort that right now the food is extremely good. The last time I sat down with a friend like this was months ago, and even then, it was more of a circumstantial thing. Olitha and I got caught up in the Makers Festival and ended up grabbing some food as it brought her home. Soon enough, our boxes are empty. I offer Quinn a napkin, and it's like, as I clean our space on the counter, making sure to leave it nice and organized for the next person. We leave the food stand and walk off to the side of the street, sticking to the shade. Curiosity lingers behind a moment longer, staring at the wall of art on the side of the truck.
Phew, that was good.
It really was. I don't usually stop to eat out, so this was nice. Thanks again.
Of course. Oh, wait. You don't? I figured you'd be eating all over the universe.
No. Not really.
I glance away, watching or pretending to watch a butterfly lazily flutter between some bright blooms on a window.
I usually eat in Apollo. We don't really stop at any tourist destinations.
Tell me more.
About...
About... I want to say anything, everything, all at once, but instead I rein it in, not wanting to put him on the spot if I can help it.
Well, what do you eat? Did you start cooking since taking to the stars?
Quinn huffs a small laugh at that, shaking their head vigorously.
Absolutely not. Unless you can't putting an egg in instant noodles.
Oh no.
Most rest stops have these meal kits. They come in an almost bag, almost box shape. You just add water and it'll cook through. Doesn't beat anything homemade, but we tend to be out for weeks at a time, so I keep the perishables to a minimum. As for curiosity, well, they just need a charging station and something to keep them from bouncing off the walls with boredom.
They speak easily and lightly about this, like it's second nature, like it's second nature to them. I hold on to every word like I'll lose it if I don't. Even hearing them use Dave for curiosity lights a bulb in my head, changing my perception of the little robot from a tool to sort of a person. It's on me, really. Even now, out of the corner of my eye, I can see Curiosity struggle to wield a pen and draw their own name on the artboard. The way Quinn talks about them, it's like they're siblings or partners in crime. Quinn and Curiosity against the universe.
Being out for weeks at a time? What are you up to out there?
Curiosity floats in, beaming towards Quinn.
I have written my name on the board.
Yay!
Great job, buddy. I was just telling Summer about her trips.
Oh, how exciting! I am an expert on our trips. You may ask me anything.
Anything? I glance towards Quinn, who gives me a smile and a vague gesture of, go ahead.
Sure. Okay. Quinn says you guys go out for weeks at a time. Aren't most planets closer together than that? Especially with high-speed travel and all?
This is an easy question. We do not travel to locations easily accessible by interstellar wormholes or highways.
Really?
It is imperative to our mutual mission that we see things that are further away.
So really just going the distance.
Is this like the journey is more important than the destination kind of thing?
What is that?
I'll explain it later. No, not really. We just like to go, quieter places.
Quinn has called them the wondrous sights of forgotten planets.
Ooh. Interesting, interesting. Quinn immediately flushes bright red, staring at Curiosity like they've just betrayed them. I decided to grant them mercy from some light ribbing and stay on topic.
Tell me about it. What's a forgotten planet?
It is a planet that was once lived in, but humanity has since abandoned. However, We use the term liberally to include places humanity has spent an extensive amount of time in, so other celestial bodies may meet this criteria.
Interesting, interesting.
Well, that was way better than I could have put it.
Moon.
So, like, wastelands?
Nothing that dangerous. I guess it's more like museums.
Oh boy, museum.
You're doing interplanetary museum hopping?
Minus the stealing things, besides the point. Quinn struggles to think of how to explain whatever it is they're talking about before giving curiosity a helpless look.
A recent expedition took us to a planet that planetary engineers used for testing artificial weather. It is a recently abandoned planet, so there was much to see, such as isolated thunderstorms and a tower that controlled soil temperature in a 400-kilometer radius.
Wow. Really? And there was no one there?
That's the point of it. Yeah.
One incredibly Quinn way to see the stars.
It's nice. We can take our time and see whatever's left behind, I guess. Curiosity's been trying to make a collection of their own, taking whatever neat.
Cool.
Cool. I just...
Cool. Cool. Cool.
I just had to... So adorable how they say it.
Cool things we can find, documenting them and putting them away in their own space in the ship. We usually go as far as we can. Lots of these places have histories that no one even remembers anymore. So to get to see it with our own eyes, it just feels really special. It might be nice to see something different sometime too. But I like our way all the same. Sorry, didn't mean to ramble.
No. Continue.
No, not at all. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You know, I've just been stuck here all this time. Same old job, same old routine every day. The only excitement I get in my life is when CC's director asks if I can cover someone else's radio time slot.
I feel the word tumbling forth like current. I don't know what it is, but talking to Quinn like...
There's a whole galaxy out there, and you've been out in the middle of it. If I were you, I don't think
Excuse
I'd
me?
ever shut up. The things you must have seen, the places you must have been.
Hold on. Something didn't... I feel the words tumbling forth like a current. I don't know what it is, but talking to Quinn like this, it just feels like nothing's changed, and everything in me wants to be more open with them. Wait, no.
There's a whole galaxy out there, and you've been out in the middle of it. If I were you, I don't think I'd ever shut up. The things you must have seen, the places you must have been.
I'm usually good at this, keeping up bubbly personality, making fun conversation, not getting too personal in case of the mood might shift. But I just want them to tell everything.
You're following a dream of yours, aren't you? Here I've been just wishing to have one. The biggest thing I've done in the past 4 years was because of you, you know? I messaged Izzy and Hannah. I told them that I missed them. So, I guess I'm trying to say that I'm happy you're here, and I want you to ramble and tell me everything too.
Quinn stares at me, their face once again falling into uncertainty and awe. I feel a bit of heat rushing into my cheeks, hoping that it's the heat and not the embarrassment of just dumping everything onto them at once.
Wow. Sorry, I wasn't really expecting that. You reached out to Izzy and Hannah?
I did. I think we all miss each other, you know?
Quinn blinks, but doesn't recoil this time, doesn't turn or even glance away at curiosity, as curiosity looks between me and them, trying to follow the conversation with probably only a fifth of the context.
Thanks, Summer. That's really nice to hear. I'm glad that you ran into me. But, you know, I won't be staying long.
Of course, even if they were to spark, Quinn's arrival is the first step of change for me. It's up to me to keep walking.
I know. I wouldn't ask you to stay. You're a free bird now. Just spare another hour or two?
Yeah, that sounds fun. Then, I guess this one time, we went towards this abandoned planet a few galaxies away. Even after a few days of just taking wormholes as far as we could, it still took another month of drifting to find it.
The two of us talk and somehow we don't run out of things to say. It helps having curiosity there to fill in some of the silences. All too soon, we end up parting ways again. I head back home. I didn't want to push things too much, so I didn't ask to make future plans with Quinn, but I hope they can tell that I want to. So, save here. And I'm just gonna take a small break. And this is everyone's reminder to get up, stretch, and get some water, eat some food, take your meds if you have meds that you need to take, and we will be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. I'll still just go grab like a throw blanket just so I can warm up a little faster. When I get back to my place, I find Ma in the living room watching a show. She puts it on mute as I walk in. Oh. Hold up. There we go. She puts it on mute as soon as I walk in though. I open my mouth to say hello, but Ma waves a hand to shush me.
Hold that thought.
Holding it.
Naomi! Summer's home! Coming!
Mom's voice floats down from the stairs with the rest of her following right behind. She scurries over to the couch and settles down beside Ma, where they both look at me expectantly. Settling into one of the chairs, I roll my eyes. It's just like when Izzy left.
I swear, you two are like teenagers.
Not that it actually bothers me, of course. Telling them how I went is the first thing I was gonna do anyways.
You're not too far from it yourself, Missy.
Now go on, spill the beans.
I give them a recap of what Quinn and Curiosity has been up to. I don't go into quite as much detail as they did, but I try to remember all the highlights. When I finish, Mom pats the empty spot on the couch next to her, calling me over to sit by her and Ma. I do, leaning against Mom's side, and she ruffles my hair.
Oh, sounds like it all worked out then.
Mm-hmm. This was the best day I've had in a long time.
First Izzy, then Quinn. There's only one thing that can make it today even better. Idly, I slide my phone out of my pocket, having to contort myself to reach it without throwing off Mom's arm. When I checked the screen, I almost dropped it in shock.
It's Hannah!
I haven't checked my phone in hours, not since I was with Quinn. Hannah replied earlier today and I didn't even notice. Hand-shaking a bit, I opened her message. Well, Summer, I'm sorry I didn't answer sooner. I'll be landing on Florel tomorrow. I'm gonna be rather busy the next couple of days, but I'd like to find a time. A bit later, she sent another message. I miss you too. Of course, I shouldn't be surprised. She's already got her next couple days planned out. Even without the CosCon coming up, which I'm sure she's heard about, Hannah's always been the type to schedule things way in advance. I won't let that stop me though. I quickly type back a reply. Can I meet you at the station? I don't even have time to put my phone away before I see Hannah start typing a reply. In Willamere? I'll be arriving at the PTLS and taking the train there. Yeah, at Fairmore. Alright, I've seen my itinerary. She passes along all the information on her arrival times, and we hash out all the details in short order. Once it's all said, I finally collapse back against the couch with a triumphant sigh.
I don't think we even need to ask this time.
Nope. Tomorrow, Fairmorn Station, a little after lunch. Gonna see her then.
With everything settled, Ma finally able to unpause the show she was watching when I got home. All three of us stayed there on the couch together, although I'm only half paying attention. The other half of me is just reliving the past day and daydreaming about what comes next. Lately, real life has taken a turn for the wonderful. Maybe it's okay to hope just for a little more. When it's finally late enough for us to call it a night, I'm making myself some bedtime tea before going up and reading a while. One last night surprise for the day, I find myself getting tired and eventually drift off to sleep. Meanwhile, I'm here still trying to wake up. Give me 1 second. Sorry, just having to check some things right quick. Alright. Despite doing my best to sleep in, I wake up earlier than I like. I even skip my morning coffee. Why would you torture yourself like that? In hopes that it'll let me fall back asleep, but that doesn't seem to work. You know, I just realized I'm sitting here saying that and I forgot to make myself coffee. I've always been the kind of girl to schedule my doctor's appointments and everything else as early as possible because I hate waiting for the right time to roll around. But since there's nothing I can do about Hannah's schedule, I'm left to buzz with excitement around the house. Sitting in my bedroom, it's hard for me to stay focused on the game I'm trying to play after messing up a jump that I know I'm capable of for the 5th time. I save and turn it off. With Quinn and Izzy, there wasn't any time to be impatient. Now there's more than enough. I get so desperate, even doing some extra chores I've been putting off, like weeding the garden. I'm sorry. I need to go. It's just that little animation. I was like, oh, wait, shit, no. Hey, hoo-ha, what? After showering and getting dressed, I'm reduced to spinning circles in my desk chair for a while. Move. Be spinning. I'm spinning like a ballerina. When it's late enough that I convince myself I won't be too early, I burst out of my seat and hurry downstairs, stumbling a bit from dizziness.
Off to meet Hannah?
Yep. What's with the smirk?
Nothing. I'm sure she'll be thrilled to see you.
Mom's like, okay, have fun being a gay panic. Don't forget to eat.
That's not a nothing smirk. That's a there's something I'm not telling you smirk.
Surprise, Hannah's already there.
You'll understand when you're older, sweetie.
I'm 23.
You'll understand when you're older.
Still a long way to go. Now scoot. Don't keep Hannah waiting any longer.
Right? And like,
I'm probably gonna be waiting for her, but yeah, I'm off. See you, love you, bye!
I barely said goodbye before I'm out the door and on my way to the local station. I'll be going to CC after I meet with Hannah, so I bring my jacket just in case. Sometimes, trying to get comfortable with this, it's like just a small throw blanket, but it's also like one of those weighted ones, and it's like very weird trying to get it to wrap around comfortable because it's not exactly like a big one. I barely said goodbye before I'm out the door and on my way to the local station. Oh yeah, I read this already. Arriving right when the train does, I hop on and get whisked off to Fairmont Station. Horn. Even with the stops along the way, I still arrive ahead of when Hannah should. As the biggest station in Willowmere, Fairmont is also the only one with a line that runs between here and the city of Petal Street. She'll be on one of those. Of course, it's also the busiest station. That's even more true today. I imagine a lot of folks here have company arriving for the concurrence on top of all the other normal travel reasons. For the few tourists that do come to Florel under normal circumstances, this time of year is perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, and plenty of opportunities to relax. Sitting on a bench out of the way, I wait. I try and fail to relax. Mood. How do I relax? I only go. A signboard detailing all the arriving train ticks down the minutes to Hannah's arrival. Ever since I was a kid, just being at the station was reason enough to be excited. It either meant we're going somewhere or someone was coming to see us. Even though my mom's and I never went further than Petal Street, it still feels like an adventure. Now, waiting for Hannah. I feel that same excitement. Finally, I get up. There's a lot of other people around standing patiently, and I stand impatiently. The signboard dings before broadcasting an arrival message in several languages. The train in distance. The open air station providing a clear view of the fields to the tracks. The track runs through. As it gets closer, a loud rumbling fills the air, shaking the ground underfoot. That rumbling turns into a quiet hiss as the train slows to a stop alongside the platform, and everyone backs up a bit to give space for the folks disembarking. A tide of people flow out, some walking on and out of the station, others finding the people waiting for them and cascading into hugs and greetings. Standing on my tiptoes, I scan the oncoming faces, looking for any sign of Hannah. There! Oh! My God. Game, don't make me choose like this. A white hat fluttering in the breeze and a hand holding it in place. As a gap forms in the crowd for a moment, I get a glimpse of Hannah's face as she moves in my general direction. Oh no, got the plan. How horrible. Oh, believe me, I plan on going through all of them, but it's like, don't make me choose on which one first. As she walks slower than most others and isn't too long before the crowd moves on, leaving Hannah on her own towards the back. I dart towards her, waving.
Hannah! Hannah!
It takes her a moment to figure out who's yelling for her. I see her look around, just like I was a second ago. I hold my hand high overhead, calling her name again. As she finally sees me, comes to a stop, mouth falling into a perfect oh. I love all of them. I hurry towards her, dodging around the last few people in my way. Hannah stands there. I do my best not to keep her waiting. Unlike when I ran into Quinn a few nights ago, this time I'm able to bring myself to a respectful stop. She quickly adjusts her bangs and repositions her hat before facing me with a bright smile.
Summer, you're here.
A tinge of red crosses her cheeks.
You bet I am.
Oh. Holy shit. I pull her into the embrace, being careful not to crash into her too hard. That doesn't stop me from wrapping my arms around her so tightly that her hat almost falls off again. Hannah's always been the one I don't have to worry about hugging. Sometimes she's even huggier than I am. After a second shock, I feel her squeeze me
I
back.
missed you so much.
There's a tremble in her voice that I've heard many times before. I let go of Hannah and she rubs one eye.
Oh, no. Don't cry. You're gonna make me cry too.
She half laughs, half sniffles.
Too late. It's happy crying, though. At least I managed to wait until I got off the train.
Don't worry. I had my happy tears too. And I'm sure there'll be more. You haven't gotten the real summer waterworks yet.
I've missed those too. I've seen plenty of people in tears, but it's usually over homework and exams instead.
Oh. Oh, God, don't remind me.
There's plenty more where this came from. Trust me. Let's go. Can I help you with your stuff?
Oh. Sure, thank you.
In addition to the bag she's carrying, Hannah had an automated bag that rolls along beside her. I wish I had a bag like that. It's connected to a small transmitter that's in her handbag. I know this because she's had it forever. Izzy used to love talking to the transmitter and getting Hannah's robo-bag to follow her around, sometimes without asking Hannah first. Hannah gratefully passes me the other one, rubbing her shoulder once it's free. I can see why. It's a lot heavier than it looks.
Ugh. What's in this? A bunch of rocks?
Some, yes. Amongst other geological samples.
Oh my god, she actually has rocks in her bag. I thought I was just making a joke.
Good thing I'm here then, huh?
Yes. You've always shown up at the perfect time in my life.
Oh my god, they're fucking gay. We start walking slowly towards one of the other platforms where Hannah will catch her train back home, and I guess where I'll catch mine too. For the first time since we met up, her face falls just a little bit.
Although...
What's wrong?
Nothing at all. I'm just...
She halts, looking a bit nervous.
Why now? Don't get me wrong, I was very glad when you messaged me, but... After all this time, what changed?
Biting my lip, I look down at the floor. Well, straight to the point, I see.
Nothing, really. Not me, at least. I never stopped wanting to talk to you guys, or for things to be any different than they had been. But then, stuff happened, whether I liked it or not. And I didn't know how to deal with that. I guess I figured that whatever was going on had to be what everyone else wanted, too. Maybe that was just what growing up was like. It's normal to drift apart or go in different directions, I think. You know, I never cared that much about normal, though, but I figured it was just me. That if you or Quinn or Izzy wanted anything to do with me, then you'd tell me. And so, if I didn't hear anything, that just meant it was on purpose. You all had your own lives to live and dreams to fulfill, and those didn't have to include me. I basically told myself I was okay with that. Only, I wasn't. I never was. But by the time I admitted that to myself, it felt like it was too late. I didn't even realize I was stuck going round in circles. Not until the other day, when I ran into Quinn. Just out of nowhere. So I just told them how I was feeling. That I wanted to see them again. I was kinda surprised when they agreed to it. After that, I messaged you and Izzy too. Up until the minute you said yes to meeting up with me, I was ready for you to say no. Sorry it took me so long.
Wiping an eye, Hannah shakes her head.
Don't be. I said you're always right on time, didn't I? To tell you the truth, I was feeling the same way, more or less. When I heard about Quinn leaving and about how upset they were, I wished I could have gone back and changed my mind. The stupid exam I was studying for got rescheduled anyway. I told myself it was just the kind of sacrifice that I'd have to get used to making. Having friends would just make it harder to find time for all the work I had to do. Then, after a year of living like that and being ready to drop out, I realized I couldn't keep being on my own the whole time. I started accepting some of my roommates' invitations to spend time together, and went to some study groups. I've met a lot of very kind people that I'm happy to call friends, but I've still never met anyone else like you and Quinn and Izzy.
Gently setting Hannah's bags of rocks on the ground, I give her a second equally gentle hug. I've been doing this a lot lately, but I don't care. For a moment, we blend in with everyone else waiting here at the station, a joyous reunion.
Come on, I guess we should go sit down, right?
With a nod, Hannah follows me the rest of the way to one of the benches. The signboard, which couldn't get Hannah's arrival fast enough earlier, is now racing towards her departure. It's 7.5 minutes away to be exact. I'm sorry! Okay, I guess it's just a speed run to talk, eat food, and then go. That's one way to plan out everything.
I want to hear about everything at some point, you know? School, friends, all of it.
Of course, I'll tell you everything. What about you? How have you been?
I've been alright. I've stayed here in Florel, mostly helping out Cece. I've got a radio show that I do every week, where I get to play music and talk about what's on my mind. Still never been off planet.
Because of your mom?
Yeah, she makes the best of it. She and Ma even went on a low-altitude trip a while ago. Her body is fine as long as she doesn't try to go past her atmosphere. Ma still won't leave the planet without her, but they both love it here on Florel, so it's not like that's a problem for them.
I found that I like Florel a lot more after spending so much time away from it. It's nice to come back to.
Hold on. Hold on. I need to pull up the credits. And by credits, I mean pull up the email again. Something about Hannah's VA sounds familiar, but I can't pinpoint where. Oh, that's why. Ivy from Lexadaisy. Okay.
What about Talavi? Have you gone back there at all?
Once for a class trip. It was nice to see, but even I was surprised that it didn't feel like home at all anymore.
It's been a long time since you first moved to Florel. Longer than you even lived there, right?
Yes, by about a year or two. When I was there, I was thinking about soil composition and atmospheric particles more than childhood memories.
Do they have good dirt on Talavi?
Not as good as on Florel. The soil is much less nutrient-rich compared to here, so the flora isn't as robust. However, it gave me an idea regarding the atmospheric interaction with Talavi's plants. In fact...
Hopping onto her feet, Hannah launches off into a spirited tangent that goes way over my head. But the smile on my face as I nod along is genuine. It matches the passion that she clearly has for what she's explaining to me.
Anyway, as I was saying, that's the third sample that I brought. There's one more which I intend to analyze over this weekend once I'm home.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to be on vacation, not doing homework.
Oh, this isn't for school. It's for my own curiosity. In fact, I had to argue with customs just to be permitted to bring them home.
Not the argument with customs.
But I do also have homework. My capstone project. I've been working on it since I first enrolled.
For that long? How huge is this thing? I know you haven't been putting it off.
It's something all graduating planetary engineers have to do. We need to complete a full design and specs and then submit it to one of the guilds. It doesn't have to get chosen to be made, but it has to be eligible.
Whoa, that's amazing. Seriously.
Well, I haven't done it yet. And like I said, all of my classmates have to make one as well.
That doesn't make it any less amazing. Just means your classmates are great too.
That's true. Anyway, sorry to ramble like that. I'm sure you don't care about dirt and rocks.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I am a rock. Even better, I'm a gem.
I do. Just maybe not quite as much. Don't apologize though. I like hearing about it. So, what's it like studying planetary engineering? As much fun as you hoped?
Definitely. This next year, my final year, is going to be difficult. But I'm really grateful for all the experiences it's given me. I've been to many other planets that are much more interesting than Talivi by now. All for school trips, of course, so there's never been any time to really explore and learn about them as much as I'd like to. But even a few days or a week teaches me plenty. I'm glad I got to see so much while I still can.
Before I can answer her, the station starts to shake. At first, I think it's a train arriving, but there aren't any inside. Then I realize what's happening. I step forward and put a hand on Hannah's shoulder to help her keep balance.
Is this an earthquake? I didn't think Florel...
Not an earthquake. You might want to cover your ears.
The second the words leave my mouth, the celestial noise starts up. This is my first time being out in public when it happens, so I'm fascinated by others' reactions. A few people stop or cover their ears, while others carry on like nothing is happening at all. You could definitely tell who's arriving from somewhere other than Florel, because most of these folks look around in confusion. Then there's some people like Hannah who simply stop and listen. When it ends a few seconds later, she steps away from me, looking even more excited than when she was talking about dirt.
What was that?
I think this might be the first time Hannah's ever asked me that question instead of the other way around.
We've been calling it celestial noise. It happens almost every day. Kind of annoying if you ask me.
I can't wait to learn more about it. It must be related to the cosmic concurrence, right? I've been checking the observation department's board every day for updates, but I hadn't read anything about this.
Well, it's definitely been happening for at least a month now.
I almost mentioned how frequently I complain about it, but hold myself back. Hannah seems really impressed by it, just like I was at the park a couple days ago. No need for me to spoil that.
I hope so. I've been looking forward to the concurrence for weeks. I made sure I'd be home in time to see it.
Not much longer to wait. I can't believe it's tomorrow.
The signboard near us plays jingle and a arrival message. jerking both mine and Hannah's attention to it. At the same time, the train that Hannah's waiting for comes into view, and I feel disappointed at the sight of it.
Guess this is it for today, huh?
Yes, but just for today. I'd like to see you again, if that's alright with you.
Yes.
All right. I was trying to think of a way to ask you that.
It's settled then. I'm glad you came to meet me here.
Both of us have to wait a second before saying anything else as the train comes to a noisy stop beside us. Door opens and Hannah lifts her bag, automatic luggage rolling behind her.
See you soon.
Definitely. See ya.
I wave until the door is shut behind her. The train takes off, heading towards her parents' neighborhood and leaving me on my own. As it disappears from sight, I fall back onto the bench I was sitting on, my legs suddenly weak. I've gotten past the point where it feels unreal. Now I have to figure out what comes next. Fortunately, I have the next few hours planned out for me. I wait for the train that will take me to CC, where we're doing some final prep and sorting out the latest arrivals. It keeps me on my feet and busy all afternoon until it's time for my show. After one last debriefing before the big day, I say goodbye to everyone else and head up to the radio room. Just trying to gauge time right now. Yeah, I think I got like maybe 30-45 minutes. Reaching the top of CC's, the door slides open with a pleasant ding. This is almost as high up as it goes. The only stop above this one is access to the clock tower. I step into the radio room, my home away from home. There's an unorganized, familiar chaos to it all. Stacks of recordings that are older than any of us covered the tables and shelves. To play it, you need the equipment that's hard to find even on Florel. I bet most planets don't have the capability at all. Near the front, there's a desk. Near the front, there's a desk that perpetually covered in papers, which are perpetually covered in coffee stains. The papers and the stains themselves cycle out as Manny, the radio program director, gets through them. But they always manage to get replaced. Looks like I'm too late to catch Manny himself today, but he left the lights on for me. Before I get set up at the radio, I grab the watering can that we keep in the corner and take care of all the plants. This room gets a lot of natural light, so we have extra plants to take advantage of. And by Florelian standards, it's kind of excessive, but that's just part of what makes it feel like home for me. They hang in planters, sit in pots, and even grow up the walls in some places. Oh.
Drink up, buds. You've got to keep up with the boys outside getting all the rain.
When I'm done, I pour my own cup of water and sip it while I collect my thoughts. Usually I'll spend the time before my show planning what I want to talk about. most of the time it's coming up with something interesting to say, something they haven't heard from me before. Right now, though, it's hard for me to think about anything other than my friends, the addictive rush of conflicted excitement. Finishing my drink, I slide down in my chair. The broadcast system up here is pretty simple. I can play stuff from my phone, or I can hook up any of the analog devices that we have laying around. I pretty much always use my phone, but I know a few people who prefer discs or tapes. They say that there's something appealing about the physical involvement of pressing the play button. There are about 4 or 5 of us at any given time who do radio shows. Mine's one of the longest running. It's that way with a lot of folks here at CC. They spend a year or 2 here and then they go on to bigger and better things. Not me though. I'll probably still be here when I'm 40. As far as futures on Florel go, the idea doesn't bother me much. When everything's set up and ready to go, I center myself with a deep breath in front of one of the microphones before I hold down the broadcast button. I feel jittery in a way that I haven't since I first started my show a couple years ago.
Hey there, Willowmere. It's me, Summer. It's been... oh boy, it's been a crazy few days since the last time I was here. A lot of stuff that I never thought would happen happened, and now I'm still trying to figure it all out.
Imagine if they're just listening to the radio show.
Have you ever really wanted something, and then once you have it, you don't know what to do with it? Like, you didn't really expect this wish to come true, so you didn't plan this far ahead. That's kind of where I'm at right now. See, I have these friends. I was worried that I couldn't call them that anymore, because it's been years since I've seen any of them. I won't go too into it. Anyone who would actually care already knows all about it. I was worried that maybe they hated me, or they'd never want to talk to me again. Because if they did, then they would have, right? That's what I told myself. But then, this past week, I got to meet up with all of them. And surprise, surprise, they don't hate me. I still get to call them my friends after all. It felt so good. It felt like a part of my world that was missing came back. Now, I'm worried about losing that part again. I got a second chance I didn't expect, and I don't want to blow it. I mean, these are rare enough as it is. No way do I get a third try. Right now, it feels like anything could happen, good or bad. That's really scary, because I haven't had anything to lose before. Not for a while, at least.
On a side note, I just want to appreciate the background. Like, holy shit.
So that's what's on my mind tonight. But enough for now. Here's some music.
I take my finger off the button and let the mic go cold as I load up the first couple tracks. It's nice to imagine that people are listening to my show like hearing me talk, but I'd be just as happy to find out that there's folks who tune in just because they have the same taste in music. At least that way there's something we both like. Besides, I think there's a kind of connection that you automatically have with someone who enjoys the same songs as you. Sometimes that resonates in both of you. I think that goes beyond any words I could say anyway. Besides, I don't know who else might be listening. I let my thoughts drift in direction while I stare out the window, just swaying to the sounds. A few songs later, and I go live again. Even after pressing the button, it takes me a second to start talking.
Still here, still summer. Hope you're having a good evening here in Willowmere, or a good morning or day or whatever if you're somewhere else. I was just thinking about music and how it connects us. First time someone's ever thought about that, I'm sure. But mostly, I was thinking about how cool it is when you meet someone else who likes the same stuff you do. It's nice to just automatically understand someone like that, and be understood. I don't know why I can only say these things here, where it's like nobody's listening, when actually there are a lot of you listening. At least, I hope there are. Man, that's embarrassing though, too.
The thought of potentially hundreds of strangers listening to me whine about my life is vaguely mortifying. Oh, you have no idea. But it's also kind of freeing. They might know my name and voice, but beyond that, they don't know anything about me. Just what I tell them. To the people listening to my show, I could be anyone. So what if I embarrass myself or overshare a little? They can listen to another station. And if anyone I do know happens to hear this, then it's not like I'm saying anything I don't actually want them to know. Like always, the rest of my show passes on the same way. Long stretches of music, intersped with me talking. Before I know it, nighttime has set in. With only 22 hours in a Florelian day, it doesn't take long to go from twilight to no light. As the final note of the song fades away, I clear my throat and lean into the mic for one last time.
Alright, that's it for me. The CosCon is tomorrow, so who knows? Maybe our worlds really will change after seeing it. Maybe we'll be different people next time. Guess we'll find out. Good night, Willowmere.
Flicking everything off, I shut down the broadcast equipment for the night, but instead of getting up, I remained seated for a bit longer. Somewhere out there, out my window, I know that 3 of the lights on the horizon probably come from Hannah, Quinn, and Izzy. Closer to me than they've been in years. All of us here together in one place again.
I can't mess this up.
I slowly rise, turning off the lights and saying goodnight to the radio room and to Cece. Exiting the community center, I follow the lamp-lit path back towards home, but before I even made it out of Willowmere proper, my phone buzzes in my pocket. I slid it out, expecting to see a message from one of my parents, and nearly dropped my phone in shock when I see who it's actually from. Quinn. Oh, Quinn? Normally that get at least a skip heartbeat from me. It did. But the fact their message is in a group message and not just one they sent me, that gives me that true loop-de-loop feeling in my stomach. I have to stop walking because suddenly all my energy has gone to making my hands and knees shake.
Get it together, Summer.
It's just a text message, and I don't even know what to say yet. I just see the icon from our ancient group chat, some joke I don't remember anymore, alongside Quinn's name on the notification. Stealing myself, I unlock my phone and open the message, and all in one swift motion. Called it. Hey, I was listening to Summer's radio show, and I need to tell you guys that I don't hate you. I'm sorry for leaving how I did. I miss you all. It's barely a single line long, but I read it again and again. In classic second. In classic Quinn fashion, it's almost painfully short, but it doesn't waste a word. In fact, coming from them, it's extra meaningful. I can practically see them blushing as they force themselves to be this honest. As we're still staring at the screen, another message pops up. This one's from Izzy. You were listening too, huh? No. 2 out of 3. Right as I think that, 3 green dots appear in the corner, then disappears. This happens a couple more times. Hannah's always taken a while to respond. I realized that I started walking again, not even sure when. Feels like I'm on autopilot. Finally, Hannah's reply comes through. I heard it too. I had hoped that I wouldn't be the only one. I feel the same way. 3 people, 3 messages, 3 lights scattered across Willowmere. I stop and look around. Now that it's my turn to reply, and where I am couldn't be more perfect. I take a seat on one of the swing sets and then take a picture of the park. I figured I said all the words I needed to already back in the radio room. So I just send them this picture, not hoping that they understand. Then I smile and slip my phone back into my pocket and wait. So my feelings did manage to reach them after all. Even though I couldn't say it to their faces, a part of me was hoping for that. By putting on my radio voice and detaching myself a bit, it was a bit easier to be heartfelt and honest. That's probably something I should work on. Either way, it got the job done. Now, I feel strangely at peace. The frantic agitation I felt a little while ago went away pretty fast, rubbed off by my friend's work. My friends. They all heard it, I assume. My fears and worries, and how I just felt about seeing them recently. They all heard that and still sent those messages. Ma's never gonna let me live down how right she was when she hears I was just worrying too much. But I know that'll only be because of how glad she'll be to know it. I guess I can let her have this one. Standing, I take a few steps back and kick my feet up, letting the swing do its thing. Up, down, back and forth. The only real limit is how high I can go with my own 2 feet, dragging it along the ground beneath me. Before it's been too long, a figure starts to approach from darkness. As they get closer to the light from the lamp, I recognize Izzy's shocked of purple hair and lanky walk.
Hey!
I call out not to worry about keeping quiet. There's no one else around for us to disturb. Izzy looks around at the sound of my voice, then spots me, approaching with a wave. Yo!
You sure got here fast?
Yeah, I was in the area. Had to drop something off for my bro, and then I took a nap downtown. Wasn't totally sure you sent that picture in like a, hey, come here where I am way, but looks like I got that one right.
You sure did.
I pat one of the empty swings next to me, and Izzy climbs onto it, balancing like she's standing on a surfboard. The seat swirls and chains twist, but she manages to keep her balance somehow. There she is! There she is! Oh, I just realized the pattern design on her skirt. Hannah's the next one to arrive. A few minutes later, we can hear her footsteps tapping down the path before she arrives, each one even and precise. She spots the two of us right away and approaches.
Hannah!
I wave, which she returns.
Hey, Hanners!
Izzy waves too, letting go of one of the chains. For the first time in years, Hannah and Izzy look at each other face to face. Hannah sighs, but I can see her biting her cheek to not laugh.
You're going to fall, you know.
I'm not.
Izzy's foot suddenly slides off the edge of the swing and she falls backwards, managing to land on her butt instead of her head. Smiling, Hannah walks over and reaches out a hand to help Izzy up.
Hi, Izzy. It's good to see you.
Izzy climbs to her feet, using Hannah's arm to pull herself up rather than being pulled. Two of them wrap each other in an embrace, and I have to look away or else I'll tear up. Leave it to me to start crying at someone else's hug. Holy shit, Izzy is tall. Finally, Quinn gets there with Curiosity in tow. As they come into view, I'm pretty sure I see them stumble with momentary hesitation, but it doesn't stop them, and the pair walks over to where we're waiting. Already I can see Hannah fidgeting a bit. I hop up to my feet with a grin.
Hey, you two!
I put on my biggest, most enthusiastic, I'm not gonna let this be an awkward silence attitude. I can. So bright that it would be weirder for them to not respond than respond. It works. They join us with a sheepish look.
Hey.
Okay, so, I need to figure out. Hold on. First, getting the. Oh, wait. Okay, question. How close am I to the actual end of the demo? One scene after this? Maybe 30 minutes? Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna take a small break because I do have to do one chore right quick. That way I don't forget to do it before I leave for work later. So, of course, as always, be sure to get up, drink water, unpretzel yourself, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Oh. Sorry, I had to at least get laundry started.
Hello.
Hello. Hannah's instant tense reply comes with a jerky wave and a smile that I can tell she wants to believe in. Izzy hops up just like it did, arms extending towards Quinn. I sort of expected him to dodge away, but they don't. They hug Izzy back, and then after a shared look of uncertainty, hug Hannah too.
Wow. I have not witnessed Quinn engage in so many social interactions since I first met them. You three truly must be very special to them.
While Quinn's face turns bright red, Hannah and Izzy seems to notice curiosity for the first time.
Yo, Quinn, who's your conscience?
Oh my god. Izzy.
Greetings. My name is Curiosity. Quinn is my friend. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I'm Hannah.
You must be Hannah Reed. I've heard a lot about you.
Quinn abruptly steps in front of Curiosity before they can start sharing any of those details. Oh? Quinn?
Curiosity and I travel together. They're
pretty special for a robot.
Quinn nods gratefully.
The two of you have met before? Yep, I met Curio the same day I saw Quinn again.
Curio. Does that refer to me?
Curio.
Yeah, it does. I guess it's a nickname. Do you like it?
Oh. Honestly, Curio's face right now is just perfect. It's like, if I ever needed a way to describe me when I get confused, there's the emote for it.
I have never had a nickname before. I have not had a name for very long either. I would be very grateful to receive this one.
All right, Curio. Welcome to the team.
Izzy whoops and claps her hands while Hannah looks simultaneously amused and embarrassed by the commotion. I clap a couple times too, and even Quinn looks happy for their robot companion. Somehow, it's that simple. Not only is it easy to welcome someone new into the group, but there's a group for them to join. There's some tension still, I'm not blind. But those bonds that once connected us, that I was so afraid had been broken forever, they're still there.
Summer, are you alright? I'm fine.
Aww. With a big sniffle, I managed to keep most of the waterworks away. Slowly, everyone ends up taking what I still think of as their usual spot. Quinn leans against one of the playground support beams while Curiosity goes down the slide and then jets back up on the top to do it again. I never thought I needed animation more than that. Like, I need to see that as animation. Hannah takes a seat on some of the stairs, stretching her legs out. Izzy dangles from one of the monkey bars, even though she's too tall for it to really work. Quinn clears their throat to get everyone's attention.
So, I said it in my message, but I'm sorry for just leaving all those years ago. Over something as small as a birthday party. It was stupid. Ever since then, I've wished that I hadn't. But I didn't think any of you would want to hear that, and I understand if any of you can't forgive me for it.
It's only one chapter and our being a character development. Although they're talking to everyone, I can see Quinn's looking right at Hannah, who's staring at the ground. Hannah mumbles something in response that I'm sure none of us can hear. But before anyone can ask her to repeat herself, she straightens up, tears in her eyes.
Of course I do. I missed you just as much as everyone else.
For the first time since they arrived, Quinn really smiles. Curiosity, on the other hand, looks a bit confused. I wonder just how much Quinn told them about us. Noticing a giant question mark on her friend's face, Quinn gets a little red again.
It was...
Hanners was busy and couldn't make it to Quinn's birthday party, and Quinn felt like she didn't want to be there.
Although they both look kind of embarrassed, Quinn and Hannah both nod.
pretty much.
I could have made more of an effort, it's true. I regretted it the minute it was too late.
Curiosity looks up at Izzy in wonder.
Thank you. That was most efficient communication.
I'm just telling it like it is.
Out of the corner of her eye, Izzy winks at me. The way she tells the story is true. Hannah was supposed to come back to Florel, but decided not to take the time off from school. Quinn, feelings hurt, left and never came back, and so suddenly it was just Izzy and me. Although the two of us hung out together a couple times after that, it never felt right. Like the absence of Hannah and Quinn was a black hole, a void we couldn't fill. After a bit, we stopped trying. Ever since then, we've all been on our own, apparently wishing that we weren't. It sounds so simple and yet so dumb, mostly because it is. Eventually missing them just became normal, and so it all remained unsaid. But here tonight, it all feels right again. The four of us talk for at least a couple hours, although the time flies by. Hannah's the first one to yawn, setting off a chain reaction that spreads to the rest of us, and makes me realize just how late it got. I know we're all gonna have to part ways again soon, but I'm determined to make sure it's not the last time. When there's a lull in the conversation, I hop to my feet, my butt sore from sitting in a kid's swing so long, but somehow I don't mind the pain at all.
Hey, so tomorrow, the CosCon. I'd love to see it with all of you. Like this, together. If, you don't have any other plans.
I'm already prepared to be turned down since it wouldn't be a surprise if they're busy.
I'd like that. My parents will enjoy their time together, I'm sure.
Yeah, my moms are gonna make a whole date out of it, too.
Might shock ya, but I'm not busy either. You bet I'll be there.
Good, you better be.
What about us, Quinn? Will we be joining?
Curiosity is like, bitch, you better go.
I'd like to. Yeah. As long as you're up for it.
I do want to. I've enjoyed spending time with my friends tonight.
Then it's settled.
Clap my hands together for emphasis.
Tomorrow night at the usual spot?
Everyone agrees, and we all pair up for one more round of goodbye hugs before everyone heads back home for the night. Even after I'm alone again, I linger in the park to a bit longer, staring up at the stars as I slowly make my way home. The joy I feel in my heart right now, it's unlike anything I can remember, at least not in memory, recent memory. Up in the sky, a bright light catches my eye as the light goes streaking across. It's a shooting star. It's a real shooting star this time. Smiling, I look down and focus on the path ahead of me. There's nothing I can think of to wish for. Oh, that's a lot of text. It may as well be a holiday. The buildings are empty and the streets are full of people dancing, laughing, and singing. Our planet is the kind of place that people visit to relax and sightsee safely. If you come here, it must be because you really like grassy plains and rivers. We don't have any crazy geology or galactically famous cities for people. Nothing that's exciting or special. So we take every chance we can get to have a celebration. There's a party on every corner of the city as my moms and I pass through. Rainbow colored streamers, yay! Rainbow colored streamers are draped over the plain stone columns and brick walls. A new mural drawn by the kids at one of the local schools has just been unveiled. A few streets away, there's a symphony performing. It's too far to hear what songs they're playing, but close enough to catch the occasional melody. I'm sure that once I leave to meet up with the others, my parents will end up at the concert. Ma can't hear a violin without crying at how beautiful it is. Kids charge past us carrying brightly colored party lasers. Their parents are over at one of the booths where artistic renditions of what people think the cosmic occurrence will look like are on display. Since nobody's quite sure what to expect tonight, the plan seems to be celebrate in every way possible. We do the usual gift giving, visiting folks who live in the city to bring them fresh produce. Usually we leave with armfuls of whatever they got, cheese or eggs or other things that we don't grow ourselves. But today we pass on all that so we don't have to carry it around. Later, one of us will come pick it up on a grocery trip instead. Hannah's somewhere in town doing the same stuff I am with her family. They don't grow anything, but her parents are geniuses at fixing things. Bikes, computers, robots, you name it. Anytime something breaks, you know it take... Oh. Anytime something breaks, you know to take it to the Reed family for assistance. Sometimes Hannah helps too, but she's not exactly great at delicate handiwork. After a couple incidents where things ended up more broken than before. I think they've all agreed that Hannah's not cut out for it. She's great at designing though, and helping her folks figure out what to do. As for Izzy, she mentioned something about dragging her brother to one of those art exhibitions where his work is going to be featured. You'd think it'd be the other way around, but Troy's never liked being the center of attention. It seems like Izzy made it a passion project of hers to get him out of his comfort zone. Poor kid. Growing up under the same roof as Izzy must be exhausting. He's always kept himself to himself for the most part when we were over at the Lancaster commune. There are so many people living there that it was hard enough just to keep track of Izzy. I'm not sure how much of her family would remember who we are if we were to visit nowadays. They're nice people, but sort of intense. I guess Izzy's intense in her own way, though. I'm not sure how much... Oh wait, no, I just read that. My parents love all of my friends. There's a reason I'm an only child, but I know they enjoyed having a full house from time to time. As day starts to turn into evening, the excitement only grows. People who had been sitting around and chatting are now pacing around eagerly. A lot of folks glance at the sky and smile, glad that the clouds are gone. Others have already gotten cozy in their spots where they'll watch for the night and are fixated on the sky, even though there's a couple of hours to go. Eventually, I say goodbye to my moms, who hurry off to hear the final songs from the symphony. I head to the station to catch a shuttle that takes me closer to the meeting spot with everyone else. The train's so full of people going in every direction, it's hardly anyone is staying home tonight. I reach my station and disembark right at the brink of twilight. It's been years, but I know this path like the back of my hand. Just past the end of the sidewalk, there's a small slope that leads to another trail. That one follows the river a bit before splitting off towards the trees and hills. I cross through the woods using familiar landmarks. An old burnt tree, a rundown shack with nothing inside, a fallen log. It makes me happy to see that they've withstood the test of time and that I'm not lost. Last step is climbing a series of hills until finally I reach the top, our secret spot. Oh my god. Like, shout out to the background artists. Honestly, this is fucking beautiful. It's not the tallest hill around, but it offers one of the best views. You can see clear onto Pedal Street over the top of the trees and buildings. The grass here is thick and lush and perfect for lying down in. We nicknamed this place Stargazing Hill, but it was good for more than that. It was great for napping or doing homework or just coming to be an angsty teenager alone. I kind of need that type of spot just as an angsty adult. But then I guess nowadays adults just call that a bar. It was also great for picnics with friends and camping trips, and now a once-in-a-lifetime cosmic event. We discovered it a long time ago, exploring after class. It seemed awfully far away from school and from home at the time. That was part of the appeal. Now I'm glad it's as close as it is. A station hop and a short hike or nothing. I noticed Quinn's shaped silhouette sitting on the ground nearby, almost hidden by the grass. They wave without facing me, so I make my way over.
Am I that noisy?
Curiosity spotted you coming up the hill. You're the first one here.
Third, counting you two. How long you been here?
A while?
A while? You know, I wouldn't even argue. I would literally just sit here forever.
We have been staying on this hill for 117 hours, 19 minutes, and 34 seconds.
Okay, not that long, but still.
Wait, that's... You've been here almost a week?
Yeah, since we landed. This is where we've been staying.
Leave it to you to pick the coolest place and not tell anyone.
I wasn't trying to hide it. It just never came up.
Honestly, that's a fucking... I fucking love Quinn. That is such a mood. It's like... Well... It's like... I wasn't trying to hide it. You just never asked.
Uh-huh, sure.
They look up at me, worry plain written in their face. I shouldn't be surprised that they're still a little guarded. It's been a while.
Just teasing, don't worry. Mind if I sit down?
Sure.
Quick question. Is there a way to hide the text box? Is there a way to hide the text box? Please. I press H. Oh. My heart. And believe me, I've been taking screenshots here and there. I scoot over and I plop down beside them. The thick grass sways gently in a breeze. A whispering blanket that stretches all the way back to town.
It hasn't changed at all, has it?
Gazing out at the unfolding evening, I know what they mean. There are a few more homes and buildings now than there were before, and a marked trail and pathways where there used to be none. Up here though, looking out from far, I feel the same as I did a couple days ago, looking out from the radio tower. Knowing there's more out there and wanting to see it for myself. We used to stand on the hill and swear that someday we'd see it all. Cities, planets, galaxies, whatever. It never mattered where, all we wanted was an adventure. To see and share something special with each other. Once we were old enough for it, real life got in the way. But now that's come full circle. Now that I'm here again with Quinn, with the others on their way.
You're right. It's exactly the same.
They smile. Nothing more needs to be said. Before long, curiosity stirs.
They here?
Yes, the others are arriving now.
Hannah and Izzy crest a hill. Izzy's in front with Hannah trailing behind.
Hey, you two!
I hop up to greet them.
Yo!
Yo!
Hello. There.
Hannah's somewhat out of breath, but she manages to straighten up and smile.
We're not late, are we?
Oh, no, you're totally super duper late. You missed everything.
I ran into Hanners on the way here and couldn't just leave her behind.
We have plenty of time, I told you.
Uh-huh. You sure we're taking yours?
I was walking at a perfectly reasonable pace, thank you. You were the one who was convinced we could find a shortcut.
Look, I did what I had to make sure we got here on time.
Hannah glares at Izzy, who gives her the most innocent face she can manage in return. For Izzy, that's not saying much. Both of their expressions melt into smiles at the same time.
I can't believe I missed you.
Hey, me either.
Nope, nothing's changed.
Come on, we're over here.
I return to my spot next to Quinn and Curiosity. The new arrivals find a place to get comfy too. Hannah settles down in the grass where she is, and Izzy wastes no time sprawling on her back and taking up space for 3 people.
So, can someone explain to me what we're gonna actually see tonight? Everyone's talking about it, but I don't know what it is.
Another universe is passing by ours. When it's closest, we'll be able to see it.
See... what?
No one knows. That part's unpredictable.
What? How do we even know what's gonna happen then?
I'm pretty sure you'll notice.
It's been calculated. At first, there was an anomaly in the routine measurements that were taken, and then once the Galactic Observation Department started looking into it, they...
You know what? Never mind. I'll just take your word for it.
Like, too many words. We pass time like this, chatting and laughing, although I chime in here and there too. I'm perfectly content to listen more than talk. To listen and to watch. And to just be. Stargazing Hill stays hours alone, but I can see signs of life all over town. The glow of a campfire or a phone, the distant sound of anonymous laughter. Observation drones dart around overhead. Some belong to researchers, while others are just watching for fun. Tonight could be just as important for science as it is for dreams, and friendship, and me. And knowing that I had at least some small part in all this, that my hours of stacking chairs or directing guests or any of the other little tasks that have been filled my time have all contributed to this one moment. To me, Florel has never seemed more alive. The sky darkens and more stars emerge. Quinn leaves for a bit to grab a blanket from their ship, giving us space to sit once the grass and dirt gets too cold. We stay cozy despite the chill. And then, right at the expected time, Curiosity lights up with excitement.
Celestial noise detected. Something is about to happen.
Izzy and Hannah cut off mid-bicker. All 5 of us rise, turning to face the stars. At first, there's nothing. Then a thin golden light begins to stretch overhead, and an explorer charting its way through the sky. A deep rumbling reverberates through me, like the bassy noise of the symphony earlier, except different. Holy shit. It's not a rumbling I can hear, just one that I can feel. Glancing at my friends, I can tell they're experiencing it too. Holy shit. They really went out all. As it intensifies, I also notice a giddy elation spreading through me, an intoxicating full-body energy that I'm not sure comes from the cosmic occurrence or just my own pure excitement. The sky ripples like a sheet of paper, shaking with anticipation as well. For a second, it looks like the stars might fall. Several of them seem to shine brighter, shaken to life. The hue of the globe begins to change, green and purple and gold. And the light they spread drifts like fairy dust. Wherever the sky is painted with the light, it seems to tremble, alive and wanting to be free. Then, as more and more of the sky is illuminated, an image of something begins to take form. It's a window to another world. No. To a whole other universe. There's a city. It's not one I know, but it strikes a feeling of recognition somehow. The buildings are all so tall and so close together. They remind me of the tall tower from Pedal Street, but different. It's the middle of the day over there, or maybe closer to sunset. Early enough that there is sunlight, it's almost blinding against our night sky. It reminds me of watching a movie in a dark room. There must be so many people just out of sight in this one little slice we get to see. I wonder if they're looking right back at us. I can't help but imagine how that city must look during its own nighttime, all lit up from far away. I'll bet you can count the lights from here, just like you can try to count the stars. And how much further does it stretch? Out past the edges? All those people who must live there, I wonder if they're any different from us. What their lives are like compared to my own. What a funny coincidence for our universes to brush together like this. I wonder if we'll ever cross paths again, or if this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The other day, Aletha told me that she wishes she had seen and done more while she still could. I never really thought much about just how much there is out there to see. Now that I do, I shiver. I've seen 0% of my own universe, and now here I am thinking about other ones. It's kind of overwhelming. I could travel for my entire life and not even see a fraction of what exists. I look around at my 4 friends. them. Oh, man, they're so fucking pretty. Like, oh my fucking god. Pretty fucking popped off this. I fucking love them. Curiosity is ignoring this guy entirely. Instead, they're looking up at Quinn with the robot equivalent of whatever Quinn is feeling right now. This must be the first time they've seen this kind of response from Quinn. Izzy is watching from close by with her hands in her pocket. Even though she used to make fun of sentimental stuff like this, I could tell she's different now, or maybe she just stopped pretending. Either way, I like this new Izzy, just as fierce as ever, but more mature. Maybe that's only natural now that we're older, but still, it's always a shock when you realize your friends have changed. Her. Also, that is a very Aerith pose. Like, when I glance at Hannah on the other side, we end up making eye contact for half a second, but she instantly looks back at the concurrence. I'm proud of Hannah. Out of all of us, she's the one who's always been chasing the same dream. I'm glad that this time that chase had brought her back here. The foreign lights twinkle in Hannah's glasses, a tiny miniature version of the scene we're watching. All of us together and a whole universe before us. I wish this moment could last forever. It can't, of course. Without warning, the colors at boundaries of the celestial window begin to fade. Its already hazy edge starts to dissipate as the light collapses in on itself. The image of the city shimmers and gets fuzzy. That fucking transition! Holy shit! Like patchwork on a heavenly quilt, the top and the bottom comes together to meet each other, leaving a pristine night sky behind them. In just seconds, there's nothing left but a bright glowing seam where two edges connected. Even that gets dimmer by the second, and before long, it's gone too. Oh. Like, oh my fucking god. This is so beautiful. At the same time, holy shit, Izzy is tall. There's just us. Us and a breeze. Hold on. I think I skipped a line. Oh, nope, I didn't. I'm good. There's just us. Us and the breeze and the stars. For just a moment, the whole planet pauses and reflects. Then, one by one, lights in town starts to come back to life. It's over. I close my eyes, exhaling. Nobody speaks, nobody moves. Not for a long time. It's Hannah who finally breaks the silence.
Gwen, have you ever seen anything like that before? Out there in the galaxy?
No. Nothing like that. Planets, sure. But whole other universes are new for us.
You still doing poetry? How would you write about it?
I don't know yet. I have to think about it.
They're quite fond of the adjective magnificent.
Curiosity.
Ink? What do you have to think about? Go with your gut! Whatever your first reaction was.
That's not how poetry works.
Maybe not for you.
Oh.
What was your first reaction, Izzy?
Easy. I thought it looked like a mustache.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Mustache?
Yeah, didn't you see it? It started here, and then it went like this.
She draws the shape in the air with one finger. Shaking her head, Hannah gazes back at the night sky, which has gone back to being so normal looking that it's almost absurd.
It was like a beautiful painting to me. The longer I looked, the more I saw. But I don't know if I could ever put it into words or describe it for someone else.
This whole game is a beautiful painting, honestly.
What about you, Summer?
I hear them say my name, but I can't speak.
Some?
Because as soon as I do, I'll cry. Keeping my eyes shut is barely working.
Summer?
But then, why hold back? I ask myself. Who cares if I cry? Tears leak out of my eyes.
I felt like I didn't want it to end. All of it. The CosCon, being here on the hill, being with the four of you. It's what I've been hoping for so long. You guys don't even know. It's the most right I've felt in years. Just being together, chatting, laughing. I've missed it all so much. All of you. And
My voice cracked, but I don't care. I'm done not saying how I feel. I don't want to keep regretting it forever.
And I don't want things to go back to how they have been, where we never talk to each other. I want things to be like they were.
I look away from the flowers I've been staring at and back at my friends. I never stopped calling them that, but I want it to mean something again.
No, not just that. I want to make new memories with you all. I want to pick up where we left off. If you all want that too.
Hannah sniffles. Of course she's crying as well.
I'd love to. Really, I would.
You already know I'm in. You don't even have to ask.
Izzy slings one arm around Hannah. Around Hannah in an enthusiastic hug. Hannah smiles but pretends to be bothered. Curiosity drifts into the center of everyone, a big smile on her face.
I've really enjoyed the time we've already spent together. Aw, us too, Curiosity. Thanks for looking after Quinn all this time.
Quinn themselves blushes and scratches their head, reflectively starting to turn away but stopping. They're still getting used to this thing again too.
Yeah. Curiosity has really helped me through a lot, but like I said in that text, I really do miss all of you. I'd like for us to be friends again too. Actually, me and Curiosity don't have any plans right now. There's nowhere we're going next, so if all of you, or any of you...
The more Quinn talks, the faster their words start to tumble out.
If there's anywhere you'd like to go or like to see... We could, in my ship... I could take us, I mean... If you wanted.
All of us look at Quinn, who wilts a little under the attention as we take in what exactly it is they're offering.
Anywhere?
I can only whisper the word. It feels so big, so full of potential.
Yeah. I was thinking... We always used to talk about it, right? But we never could. If you don't want to anymore, that's fine. Or if you can't. I get it if...
A quick glance at Hannah.
If anyone's busy.
Shaking her head with a smile, Hannah seems unbothered.
That sounds great. There's a lot of time to make up for after all.
Woohoo! Road trip time!
I take it that means you're in too, then.
Of course! Wouldn't miss it for the world. Any world.
And then, of course, they all turn to look at me. Like, I have to think about it. Like, I have to make up my mind. There's not a single reason I'd say no, not ever. Not especially after... But, not ever. But, especially not tonight. I feel a grin spread across my face, like the miracle we just witnessed.
Let's go. Anywhere. I don't care where. I just want us to do it together.
Road trip! Give me 1 second to switch scenes right quick. Okay, yeah, no, we're good. Like, my. Over which all of these best describe your feelings on Summer at the Edge of the Universe demo. Very positive, because that's the highest it'll allow me. Honestly, I just need to take a second to sit because one, it's already been almost 3.5 hours. And two, it's just like, holy fucking shit. I'm so ready for the rest of the game. Like, obviously. So, if it hasn't been obvious at this point, visual novels usually aren't my forte of just not really content, but just games in general. But this one is just, it's beautiful. Also, why do I feel like just looking at the questions where you can actually type in your answers, I feel like Mari just did hers in all caps. Like, just straight up caps locked and went all out. How do you feel about the art in the game? This includes sprites, CGs, and backgrounds. Very positive. Please leave any comments you may have regarding the art. Meanwhile, here I am literally going into all caps about the game. And now you sort of get small. Typing ASMR. Sorry, not sorry. Who was your favorite character if you had one? Fuck it. Quinn, without hesitation. Based on your experience with the demo, would you be likely to purchase the full game? Yes, 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 without a doubt, yes. Double check to make sure I put my email in correct. Submit. Well, oh, I guess that part will come at a later point, but yeah. Oh, man. I think that's... not gonna lie, I wanted to play some more of First Snow after finishing this, but... I think this is just a good spot to stop at. Once again, thank you for joining me in on this adventure. Oh, I am so looking forward for when this game comes out. Let's see. Let me look at the schedule. I just realized I never actually put the schedule up in Discord. Whoops. But I do believe there's only like one more stream as far as this week. I may be wrong. Yeah, so there is only one more stream as far as this week. That being Saturday, same time. I will actually be going into, well, for me, a new game / MMO. Despite the fact the game's been around for quite a bit. I'm gonna be playing Guild Wars 2. I have no clue what the fuck to expect, but it'll be something to see how that goes. But of course, as always, once again, thank you for sticking around. Be sure to follow on social media, follow on here, subscribe on YouTube as well, because I am going to actually start upload. I'm gonna set it to where I can have VODs slowly uploaded. And of course, have a good day, evening, whatever time zone you may be in. Stay awesome and keep rocking. Bye-bye.